Hi, Unit 2 Rational Numbers, Lessons 5 and 6, Exploring Absolute Value, Comparing Absolute Values. This video for explanation lesson. Learn number 1. What's the absolute value? What is the meaning of absolute value? Absolute value is of any rational number is its distance from 0. What does that mean? I know that 5 is far from 0 by 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means absolute value of 5 is 5. Also, the absolute value of negative 5. How many units? From 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can deduce that absolute value have a symbol like that. To write here 5. We read it as absolute value of 5 equal 5 unit. Just write 5. We note also that absolute value of negative 5. Negative 5. How many units from 0? Just 5 units. Yes, absolute value of 5 equal 5. Absolute value of negative 5 also equal 5. That means absolute value is at a distance between the number or the rational number and the 0. The distance between 0 and the number. Between 0 and 5 equal 5. Between 0 and negative 5 also equal 5 units. Okay? That means that absolute value of 5 equal absolute value of negative 5 equal 5. We can know that the positive digit or number or rational number itself, but if this number is negative, the absolute value will convert it to positive. Okay? Example number 1. Find the value of each of the following. Point A, absolute value of negative 4. We said that the absolute value delete the negative sign, so it's equal 4 units. From 0 to negative 4, it's 4 units. Negative absolute value of 4. First, what's the absolute value of 4? Equal 4. Don't forget to put the sign. This sign is out the absolute value. Okay? Here we have absolute value of negative. It's convert 3 over 7 to positive. But this sign, okay, negative 3 over 7. Here we have absolute value of negative 3. Sign is in the absolute value, so it's delete it, plus absolute value of 5 itself equal 8. Here we have absolute value of negative, convert it to positive, minus absolute value of 6 positive itself. 6 minus 6 equals 0. Absolute value of negative 3, that's 3, times absolute value of negative 2 equal 2. 3 by 2 equal 6. Example number 2, find the value of x. Here we have x and I need to find out what's the value of x. Absolute value of x equal 5. X may be equal 5 because absolute value of 5 equal 5, or maybe x equal negative 5. Why? Because absolute value of negative 5 also equal 5. So I have two values for x. X may be equal 5 and may be equal negative 5. As the two cases, the result will be 5. Absolute value of x equal 10. So x may be 10 and x may be negative 10. The two cases, the answer will be 10. Absolute value of x equals 0. Note that. What's the absolute value of 0? The distance between 0 and itself. It's 0. So x, of course, equals 0. Absolute value of 0 equals 0. Okay? Absolute value of negative 7 equal x. X equal what? Just absolute value. Delete the sign. So x equal 7. Check your understanding. Find the value of each of the following. Absolute value of 0. We know that absolute value is the distance between the number or the rational number and 0. It's just 0. Between 0 and 0, it's 0 unit. Absolute value of negative 7, just 7. Negative absolute value of 3. Absolute value of 3 equal 3, and the negative is out of the absolute value. Absolute value of negative 10, it's equal 10. Plus absolute value of negative half, it's half. So 10 plus half equal 10 and half as mixed number. Absolute value of negative 3 over 4. Absolute, delete the sign. 3 over 4 divided 1 over 4. Remember what? If we have two fractions like that and we have division, the first fraction itself and convert division to multiply and convert this fraction upside down, 4 and 1. Just 4 over 1. Okay, you can remember that. Now I can times numerators and denominator. 3 times 4 equal 12. 4 times 1 equal 4. 12 over 4 equal what? Equal 3. Why? Because 3 times 4 equal 12. So the answer is 3. Also we can simplify 4 with 4. We 1, here 1. 3 times 1 equal 3. Okay? 1 times 1 equal 1. 3 over 1, it's just 3. Any integer, its denominator will be 1. Okay? Last point, absolute value of negative 10, just 10 unit. Absolute value of negative 2, just 2 unit. So 10 over 2 equal 5, because 5 times 2 equal 10. Okay? Learn number 2. Comparing absolute values. Comparing absolute values, that means I need to know the greater than or less than or smaller than, right? Okay, let's take an example. We have negative 4 and 3. We know that any positive is greater than any negative integer, right? Right. So if it was 4 and 3, of course 4 greater than 3. But with the negative sign, okay, negative 4 less than 3. 3 to the right of 0, but negative to left of 0. I know that here is the smallest integer. And here we have the greatest integer. That's mean negative 6 less than negative 4, but 4 less than 6. 4 less than 6, but negative 4 greater than negative 6. I think it's easy. Okay, now let's think about if I put absolute value of 4 and absolute value of positive 3, who's the greater than the other? I know that absolute value of positive equal positive, absolute value of negative equal positive. So now I can set the absolute value of negative 4 greater than absolute value of 3. Note that here without the absolute, negative 4 less than 3. With the absolute, negative 4 greater than absolute 3. Okay, because the absolute value, it means the unit, the distance between the digit of the integer and 0. Distance between negative 4 and 0, 4 unit. But distance between 0 and 3, 3 unit. That's why 4 unit is greater than 3 unit. Take example number 3. Comparing point A, absolute value of negative 2, absolute value negative 7. Just solve it. Absolute value of negative 2, distance 2. Here, distance 7. Okay? Absolute value here, positive, negative, becomes positive. Negative, it's the same. Who's bigger? Of course, positive, right? Here we have 3 and 1 over 4. Absolute value of 3 and 2 over 3. 3 and 2 over 3 out of the absolute value will be positive. Now, 3 and 4 or 3 and 2/3. Of course, 3 and 2/3 is bigger than 3 and 1/4. Okay? You can imagine with me, what's the force? It's like that. 1 over 4. Okay? But 2 over 3, it's just like that. 1 part, 2 part over 3. Which one is greater than the other? Of course that, 2 over 3. So 3 and 2 over 3 is greater than 3 and 1/4. Okay? Last one. Absolute value of negative 4.25 and 4.3. Absolute value of negative will be positive as unit. Here we have 4.3. Now 4 and 4 whole number, point and point, 2/10 and 3/10, which bigger? Of course 3 is greater than 2/10. Okay, also I can put here 0. So we have 25 hundredths and 30 hundredths. Of course 30 hundredths is bigger than or greater than 25 hundredths. Okay, now we have to check our understanding. Comparing using greater than, less than, or equal. Okay, point A, absolute value of 7, just negative 7, it will be 7. Absolute value of negative 11 will be 11. Which one is greater? Of course 11. Point B, negative 5 and absolute value of negative 2. Here we have negative 5, but here out of the absolute will be 2 units. So positive greater than negative. Here we have two absolute value here. So absolute value will delete the negative. Just 4/10 and here 4/10 and this 0, I can put 0 here. So it's 2.40 hundredths. For 2 and 40 hundredths, it's equal each other. Now we have absolute value, two sides. Okay, so here we have 3/1/7, 3 and 1/5. Okay, 3 whole number and here 3 whole number. What's the bigger, 1/7 or 1/5? I know that we have here the same numerator, so how many big than this? 7 big than 5. So 1/5 is bigger than 1/7. That's right. Okay, now we reach the end of explanation part. lesson 5 and 6. Let's meet each other in exercise, and thank you.